Hello fellas, Frankie Day here. Okay guys, this is video 4 for my fall build of the Bluejacket kit of the USS EWARD, my 4-piper flush deck destroyer. Boy, I put some work on this thing guys since the last video. Okay guys, so far I've done on her. I did some spotting out on it, did some more wet and dry sanding, add some more primer to it, spot it out again, sand it down again, wet and dry sanding, then a coat of primer, and finished up with another coat of primer. And I went ahead and painted, gave it red oxide waterline at the bottom of it. I painted. And I masked that off after it dried. And I went ahead and painted my 5S Sea Blue, which the USS EWARD wore December 7th, 1941. Under the instruction of Rainbow 5. They carried had a 20B deck blue and a 5S, all vertical structures, and top of the funnel line up where the foretop's at, which is the mast. It's a pale gray. So this is going to be how she looked December 7th, 1941. I've got a lot of work doing this thing, guys. It will build fast because ain't much to it to an old flush deck destroyer, but there's a lot of detail you can add to it because it's a big model, and a big model allows more room for more detail. So that's what I'm gonna be doing this old girl right here. So she's come along quite swiftly, and I'll probably be doing some other builds too as I get this going, like I always do. And I gotta finish up my plate, fellas. I don't want this stuff to go to waste. And I promise you guys, as long as I'm alive, they'll be done. And that'll be that. Okay guys, today's Wednesday, and I promise you I'm making another video by this Wednesday, and I just want to see through my promise that I got video 4 on the way right here. So it's going on quite well, fellas. There's no problem with it. It's mostly scratch built anyway. You know, they just give you a pre-carved hull, and they give you the material, and they give you a set of blueprints. They say, go to it, kid. Go ahead and start building her, because our hands leave off, yours take over. And that's what I like about these old wooden kits like this. It allows you to do a lot of work on them. Okay guys, enough chatted right now. Let's swing hard starboard over here and take a look at the USS EWARD and show you how much I got done on her. And we'll swing the cam back to yours truly and finish up the video. As you can see, guys, her tire yard right here. She's a meter long, a little over a meter, and she's about 39.5 inches long. And these flush deck destroyers, all the way from stem to stern, they were 310 feet up to 315 feet long. Because like I say, fellas, these were like peas in a pod. These flush deck destroyers, none of them were exactly alike. They had different modifications on them for the practices what they're used for. And if you get the United States Navy under the contract when I build so many of these 4-pipers, some that need to be modified to their likings, to the military, to its practices as it does underway. And so right here, the deck's nice and smooth, guys. It's going to be deck blue tomorrow. I'm going to airbrush some deck blue on it. And let it dry. These things come off. All these substructures right here you guys see, they all come off, just like you've seen right there. And they come off the deck without fuss, and they go back on, no problem. And they just actually dry fitted to give you guys the illusion of the overall perspective and view of her. And I got all the portholes all been re-drilled out. I got portholes installed up here. I got to finish the portholes aft here, and I got another set of small portholes got to be installed, and they got to be touched up with sea blue too, and painted. And we'll take a little closer look at this thing. Going to the bow right there. I don't know if you guys can see it where the lighting is in here. You can see all the portholes on here. All the portholes all done on there. They give you portholes in the kit. All you gotta do is drill them out, take the portholes and ACC them in there. And they got the bilge keel right here, rubbing streaks on here. Right here is the refrigerator. Right here is the galley. That's where the guys eat at. And you got stairways going down below to all the compartments. I imagine the crew slept forward, and the officers probably slept pretty much in the pilot house area. And the black gang, which is engineering, they all went aft. So as we proceed aft, I got the screw guard on. I got the screw guard on. I got the stuffing box. Props, brace to prop bosses struts, support struts, and the propellers mounted on there. And got the black boot topping on there, was masked off and painted. I might go ahead and give her a little bit of weathering too. I'll give her a little bit of rust on it too, guys. That'll really bring it up to par, because like I say, these were sea boats and they were out there in the ocean all the time. They didn't stay in port too much. So these old flush deck destroyers, guys, they've been laying dormant for 20 years, you know. They are, like I said in the last video, these things were more or less built for its time. So the United States Navy got stuck with these things, and they came along and they said, well, what are we going to do with these devils? This is, I don't know. Why don't we just keep them? Why don't we just keep them in the reserve fleet and keep them mothballs while in case something spruces up, which they did. So I mentioned back in the 1930s when Japan was starting their business, so they're in Manchuria and Nanking and all through there like that, they start pulling these old four pipers out of mothballs. And look, we ain't got very many destroyers, so we gotta, wherever we got the surplus, we gotta use them. And that's what they did. They never built anything because they had no, the militarists had no idea that we, as element, that we'd be at war. And all these faults that we've made in that time could have been heeded if they would have listened to General William Billy Mitchell at his port marshal. This man was a visionist, and he was an eccentric military man. And the man was virtually, he was right. You got to have an update Navy, an update Army Air Corps, troops, everything. Because we're going to be attacked someday. Those guys say, well, who the hell's going to attack us? It's Japan. They're a nation of recognition. After all, during the Russian and Japanese War, they pummeled the whole darn Soviet fleet. They sent them right to the bottom. And that was an accomplishment, a nation to reckon with. And they're also a very industrious nation. And they like to take control of islands and get raw materials, like old rubber and tin from Malaysia and the rest of these countries. So anyway, excuse me, I got a toad in my throat. So anyway, that'll be that, a little small history of that, fellas. Anyway, these four pipers were actually there taken out of mothballs and used in the United States Navy's reserve fleets until they had better destroyers coming in, which they did by 1939. They started developing Livermore, the Gleaves class, and the Benson class, destroyers, the Livermores. They were all early development from the flush deck destroyer, and so we had the Fletchers, and the rest of them came into view in the United States Navy. So they always trying to succeed the other ones, but still used them. And they used these probably up to 1944, and probably a lot of them were more or less destroyed during kamikazes and such like that. But anyway, the Navy got their money back out of them, so they were very expendable. They were very, very useful, and they served a purpose and did their job quite well, very well. I mean, a lot of tin can sailors that sailed in these things, you know, they said there's a rough boat, but I'll tell you one thing, it's a darn good boat, and which they were. Okay, guys, just enough said right here. We'll swing back and take a look. Tell you what's being doing next. So anyway, guys, I gotta do some cleaning up in this man cave. I got stuff all over the place here. If you guys can see what I got here, and I got a lot, so I gotta start doing some thinning out in here, so I gotta have some room to walk around. So I'll probably be doing that tomorrow and resume shift work back on the USS EWARD. I gotta finish up, put all the airports on the hull, and paint them up and retouch them up with some dull coat. And I gotta paint the sea blue on the deck. And when that's all done, I'm gonna go out and do all the fitting out stage. All the fittings like cleats, open chocks, bits, capstans, anchors, hawse lips, hawse pipes, anything that's on that deck, which is called deck furniture, will be on this month. So the next video of this will probably be out I have it for Friday. Friday I'll have a video number 5 of the USS EWARD. But tomorrow, you know, it's my day off tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and spruce up this man cave. It's starting to take over here. So I got to start getting a lot of stuff out of here before it starts getting broken. And so I got all my gas-powered airplanes. I need to get them out of here instead of take them down below, so I can have some room in here. I can do that very easily. Okay, guys, that's on the agenda, and so there'll be a lot more builds and everything coming up, belly builds coming up, and so far this summer, you know, everybody's out doing their thing, you know, and not posting too much on YouTube here and there, and I'm one of them. You know, I got too involved flying my airplanes and stuff, and in the sailing boat events. And all these outdoor activities makes better use out of my toys. Okay, guys, I'm time for you to bail out right now. We'll catch you guys Friday in video number 5 on the USS EWARD Bluejacket kit, scale 1/8. And this is Frankie signing off. Make Mama happy. Please subscribe. Happy modeling, and take care of yourself, fellas. I'll be back. See you, boys. Bye, men.